Hey, it's Aaron and welcome to my dysfunctional kitchen. You know, I feel like when people do like cooking online, they have a clean kitchen and all the kids are out of the room. I don't have that. Like, I got this little girl with me, that kid. I don't have a clean kitchen. I don't have any tools. But what I do have is this phenomenal piece of meat right here. This is a meal I'm making called a cote de boeuf, and this is a huge steak. I've actually had this in the refrigerator, salt brining it for 2 days now. And the problem is this thing is so huge, it's not gonna fit in my pan. It's not gonna fit inside of it because of that huge bone. So I have to saw off this bone. This isn't something that happens on your other cooking experiences on YouTube. But I have to cut this bone in half, and I was already doing this for like 30 minutes earlier. So I have to cut that huge bone so I can fit this in my pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, I finally got this monster cut, and I had to use a serrated like bread knife. Yo, it's crazy, huh? I used a serrated bread knife and a meat tenderizer to break this bone. Again, this is a dysfunctional kitchen, and we don't have all the tools. We just make it work. And so I trust the meat to kind of hold it together, and I'm gonna throw it inside this cast iron, or rather this stainless steel pan I just bought. So we're gonna move on to the next steps here and see how it goes. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and sear both sides of this. I've already seasoned it with salt and pepper on the top, and I'm gonna get a nice crispy crust on both sides of this. So right now I'm cooking this in canola oil, and that should work pretty well to really get this thing nice and crispy on both sides. So I dumped my oil out, and I added a tiny little bit more oil. I put some butter in here, and I put my aromats. I put some thyme as well as some garlic. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna baste this. All right, I got some fancy butter and some plastic wrap. It's butter, salt, lemon, parsley. Judah, what you think? What you think, man? What do you think about this fancy butter? We're gonna put it in the freezer, and then we're gonna slice it and put it on top of our cote de boeuf when it's done. We're recording.
I am recording. Whoa, look at that epic.
So we gotta baste this hunk of meat. Notice how the butter is not black. This is a nice brown. If it was black, it'd be overcooked. So we're gonna baste it. And we're gonna put it back in that oven. Smelling good, fam. Put it back in that oven for 5 minutes. We're gonna do this every 5 minutes for about 20 minutes or until it gets to 130. Cooking show. We're not talking about what she was talking about, which was about the events in Washington, D.C. today. We're talking about this beautiful cote de boeuf. So I'm carving this, and I just took the bone off. It's a little bone to chew on. And as I'm looking at this, it's a little more, gosh, it's a medium. I mean, it's truly a medium. So this is the ribeye here, right here. And this is what's called the decal. And I'm going to take this apart. This is nice and crispy, and it's a really nice piece of meat. And then we'll slice this here, 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 and then we'll put our butter on it, and then we will enjoy it. Okay, so we put our fancy butter. We sliced that, put it in the freezer. We're going to put some finishing salt, these real big flakes of finishing salt. And if I was at home, I'd use a blowtorch to melt this butter, but I have to use a lighter since I don't have a blowtorch.